Welcome. Over the Top Podcast. It's your boy Big HD in the building today, along with the Over the Top Podcast crew. Again, as introduced the crew. What's up, Playmaker? What's going on, man?
Hey man, I'm satisfied with life.
Good stuff. We also got Q in the house. What's going on, Q?
I'm trying to figure out how the U.S. lost a big jet, a government issued jet, over my state. I'm trying to figure out how do you lose a jet?
Oh yeah, a jet. The pilot ejected, and the jet is somewhere missing. They don't know where it landed.
They said it's 2 hours northeast of Charleston.
Oh my, very
So
interesting.
the jet crashed in South Carolina?
They don't know yet.
They don't know. They haven't found it.
They don't know where it's at. The jet just disappeared.
It was on the news this morning.
You want to know? Because the jet is in stealth mode.
Not stealth mode.
It's in autopilot. It's flying in autopilot.
It's in autopilot and stealth mode.
So what happened to the pilot? He just quit.
He ejected.
Ejecto
Hey man, I know I'm holding up time, but that gotta be a hard decision. Hey, I hate my job, I hate my life. You know what? I'm not gonna jump out the plane. I'm gonna eject myself. And go
Man, they be trained for it, but you know they gonna have a crazy thing with the jet start scrambling because one of the jets went sonic over the was it the Capitol or something like that, and then everybody heard the boom, and it was shaking. That was crazy.
Yeah. RJ, what's going on with you, man?
Man, I'm good, man. Look, we got a big game this week, so we're getting the kids ready.
Okay.
Outside of that, things are good.
Hey,
look, still got my badge on.
Oh, what's that badge? Okay.
PYCF.
What that Little League?
Johnson. Yeah, Little League. You got to have a badge to get into get into the game, stuff like that. So.
Hey man, if you're a father,
we do volunteer work on this station too as well. I mean, on this program too as well. We love the kids.
That's right. If you have an opportunity to coach Little League football, please do. It ain't for all coaches, but if you think you can coach a little bit, don't go on out there with the little ones and get the game that is purest form. So great job, Ron. Great job. What's up, Toya? How are you?
Hello, everybody.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm driving.
Finally. Good stuff. Road trip time.
Nah, I'm not ready for that yet. No, we gotta get it. I still gotta get this knee straight. So I'm not ready.
How are you getting up and down the steps?
I'm walking up and down I'll stop. I'm not even using a cane anymore. I'm walking up and down the steps.
Oh, word.
She two-stepping.
Ready for
well, guys, we'll keep the show pushing, give the show pushing. Toya, what we got on deck?
All right, here we go, fellas. Dear Toya, I'm a 36-year-old and I've been dating my fellow for almost 2 years now. It's been really nice. Like any new relationship, for the most part, you get to know one another. It's a really peaceful relationship. We've never had an argument. That's not to say we don't have disagreements. We just don't argue. I say my piece and usually he responds with an okay or a no, or no response at all. Recently, he asked what I think about threesomes. He said he wanted to have one with me and a friend of his. I don't know this friend, but I said no. I'm not comfortable with it. And for the first time, he had a lot of words to say. He said, if I don't do it, then we don't need to be together. That if I loved him, I would explore this part of my sexuality with him. So, of course, my feelings are hurt, and I told him I would think about it. I love this man. Should I just try the threesome to get it out of his system so we can go back to being our normal selves? Please help me.
All right, Jay, I'm gonna go to you first. I see the expression on your face, sir. Go ahead, sir. You got it.
That's a big ass. God dang. Hey man, I just harken back to the Kevin Hart thing. Every time Every time I think about people talking about a threesome, I think about what Kevin Hart said. And my thought process is, I wouldn't do that. That's something you do in your teens and you younger and you experiment with life, man. If you, how old she said she was, 30 what?
36.
Yeah, you settled and you potentially want to like marry this person or be with this person long term. I don't think that's a good idea. That's just me, and that's I don't know. That's me. Moving towards like a more adult and grown type of deal. I don't think I want that.
You
That
don't
stage
think
is
grown people
past for
have
me.
threesomes?
I'm just saying the stage is past for me and how I process. I
Right.
can't I
Right.
can't say what somebody else should do. I just wouldn't do it. And I wouldn't say, hey, what I look like telling Cinnamon, hey, Cinnamon, I want to do such and such. My wife look at me like I'm
Get
crazy as hell.
knocked out,
Yeah,
sir. You get all that New
no,
York smoke.
What you think, Q?
no, man.
So my TikTok is full of a lot of Reddit questions that are similar to this, and I will say this, madam, do not let your husband gaslight
They're
you.
not married. They're not
They're
married.
not married.
They're dating.
And gaslight you into something you do not want to do. Something like that is something that is usually discussed way early in the relationship, not 2 years in, and especially not because he has a friend already lined up. Depending on who that friend is, he either already did it or wants to do it, and he's looking for the okay. Now, if it's a woman, a lady friend. If it's a male friend, why is he? If it's a male friend, then I ask you for why is he trying to share you with one of his homeboys? But I say, do not let him gaslight you into this. You can say no, and if he says, "Well, I'll just leave," you say no. Kick rocks. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. And if it does hit you on the way out, make sure it hits you hard.
Yeah.
Man, make a G. Was that a little aggressive, or is this or his questions? It's a civilized question. It was a little aggressive.
The first thing that comes to my mind is pimping ain't easy. And I believe she needs to think about what's going on here. I mean, I think for her to have that type of reaction at the thought of it gives me the impression that that's not really something she's into. So I wouldn't subject myself into something like that. I think it poses a very interesting question if the friend is a male or female. But even from that perspective, I think it doesn't matter. I think similar to what Q said is that, hey, and even what Ron said, if that's not something that you are curious about or even thinking about, then don't put yourself into that kind of situation. And if a man truly says he loves you, he's not going to force you to do something that you're not comfortable with.
Fair. So for me, I don't mind the question. What bothers me is the intimidation factor. So we don't argue over nothing else. But then when I ask you out the blue, you want to have a threesome, and you say no. Now I'm throwing the temper tantrums, and I'm throwing the, well, you don't love me, we don't do this, that, the other. So that raises a red flag to me. But whatever you discuss your relationship, however you want to conduct your relationship, I have no dog in that fight. I'm just the fact of the intimidation fact. How you gonna try to force somebody or try to coerce somebody into doing something? And just like Ron said, he better be careful. He invited into a threesome, and she found out she like new stuff. Then he mess around, be on the outside looking in. Now he on the outside, waiting. He just sitting there while they putting in work. And you there sitting down on the couch twiddling your thumbs. So you kind of gotta be careful what you ask for. You gotta be careful what you ask for. What you think, Toya? You can, I don't know, you
Okay,
didn't
I'm gonna
ask
start
something.
I'm gonna start First of all, the part where she said, we don't ever argue. It's so peaceful. We have discussions. And he says, okay. So, or he has no response at all. That's the first red flag. Because he's an avoider of conflict. There's no relationship that doesn't have arguments. And it's not to say arguments where we're fighting and all out, but even discussions. If we're having a discussion about something, you're gonna have to talk to me. You can't walk away. You can walk away for like a minute, get your thoughts together, and come back. But there's conflict resolution is a big thing in a relationship. That's one. Two, the fact that he said he wants to do it with a friend of his. Ma'am, he is trying to pull you into a polyamorous lifestyle. That's how they started.
You think him and the friend already been having sex before, though?
Yes, a friend of his. Most men, this is what most men say. Most men say, you want to have a threesome? You can find the person, or we can find the person together. They don't say, I want to do it with a friend of mine. He done already been with this chick. Or male, whoever it is, because you didn't say male.
It wasn't specific.
But that is not how men suggest threesomes. Men suggest, I've had a lot of threesomes suggest to me. Men suggest threesomes. Okay. You know somebody, or we can find somebody together. They don't say, oh, I got a friend. Because that, first of all, he ain't even a good looker. He's horrible. He didn't even got game.
I have no idea to bring that conversation up.
No. That's not how that works. He trying to pull you into a polyamorous lifestyle. He already got a chick on the side. He probably got two chicks living together in one place, and then he bring you the third.
Well, is it a polyamorous lifestyle, or he just want a threesome?
First of all, I don't know what it is, but the thing is, you're not going to sit there and give me an ultimatum and say, if you love me, ma'am, let him go. Tap out.
What you doing there, RJ? What's your thoughts on that, Jay? Jump in for a minute.
I'm having a flashback. You know, you got a chick on the side. That's an old song, right? Look, check me out. I really do feel like that's kind of weird. Like, Toya's onto something with that. I really do feel like he has the desire to have multiple women at multiple times, and just have honest. You know, like when
I've been there too, so I know. I know how they say.
I would tell women straight up, man, I'm gonna see other people. And I think that's the one thing that I hate about our culture right now. We would rather lie to somebody than talk plainly, clearly to them and say, I'm gonna see other people. You afforded opportunity to see other people if you choose to.
Y'all be happy, y'all married, happily married, stay happily married. These streets ain't for the weak.
What's that playmaker? You're not married. You're not married at this point. What's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts on?
Don't do that.
Me personally, I guess similar to the Kevin Hart, I couldn't imagine another man feasting off on my wife, and now if I was younger and we were at Freaknik or something and I had too much to drink, then that may be a little bit different. But as a man who is approaching his late 30s,
who approaching late 30s? Quentin 25.
I didn't say how late. I just said late 30s.
I mean, you don't pass that house, late 30s. You don't jump that
big. Say the word 30.
You say the word 30, won't you?
Late 30s. You got to add a decade or so. But yeah, it's around that time frame.
Quinn, you got anything else you want to add to that, man? What in other comments you want to add?
People who are in relationships that are in long relationships. Not if it's brought up early in relationship, then yeah, cool. If it's brought up late in the relationship, on both sides of the relationship, whoever brought it up, they probably already have somebody in mind and might have already done it. So, and again, do not let them gaslight you into something you don't want to do.
I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, if she's into that, that's cool. But if she do it just because he want to do it, it's gonna be some tension there. It's gonna be some issues down on the other side.
If you do it, and you think that it's going to be the last time he asks you, I'm telling you, he's pulling you in. Do not do it. If it's not in your, that's not, it's uncomfortable for you. Shut up, Ron.
Now, if you want to try something different, now
No,
by all
she said she
means.
was uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. It's not something she wants to do. And I agree
Right.
with Ron. That's something you get out when you in college. I don't think
Well,
teens.
I disagree with that. Now it's some more freaks out here. Now it's some more heads out here.
I'm telling you, there are. But if you like, if that's what you want to do, then fine. But if it's not, then don't do it. There are old
I
freaks.
agree with
Man,
that. Now,
analyze
I
it for your
agree with.
analyze it for yourself in terms of what your sexual appetite is at 20, at 30, versus 50 and 60. That's a totally
You
different.
can't say that for women.
I mean, there's some 60, 70-year-olds maybe out there with some polyamorous stuff
You
going
still
on
can,
now.
you
It may
still
not,
can
they may
go,
not
but
be
God
sexy
dang,
looking, but
cuz, come
it
on,
is
man.
what it is now.
That's
It is
rough.
what
There
it
are
is.
some 60-year-olds who are living a polyamorous lifestyle. I know one.
It is what
And
it is
are
now.
very comfortable in their lifestyle. They all live in one house together, and it is what it is. But if it's not for you, then don't do it. Me, I don't want to share nothing with nobody. Not a man and not a woman, especially not a woman. No, I'm good. My ego don't work
Not a
like that.
woman. What,
Meaning I
what?
don't want
Hey,
to do a
man, let's go.
threesome with
The
another
next step.
woman, with another woman and a dude. No, my ego don't work like that.
I mean, okay.
Your ego. You
That
said the
ego.
operative word.
Ego. No.
We should do a
I'm
show on the male
everybody's
female
favorite
ego.
in my
The male and
mind.
That's what
female ego.
look,
Got
that's
to
what we
pick
need to
one.
do. That'll be unconventional.
I'm
I
telling
think
you.
females
All
have
right.
bigger egos than men now.
Okay, so I want to say this. This question, she really needed an answer. So she like hit me up a couple of times. And it's a couple of y'all hitting me up over and over and over again. I promise. I'm going from the bottom to the top right now. So everybody, I will get to you. I promise. Just, we're doing it every week. So y'all just be patient with us, but I appreciate all the support, all the questions. If you need to reach me, you can reach me at AskToya74, TOIA. By now, you should know how to spell it. At gmail.com, Toya L on TikTok, or Toya Mitchell on Facebook. And we're about to have a over the top Facebook page, so soon you can hit us up there too.
That's right. Thank you. Keep them coming. We may have to do an Ask Toya show soon to try to catch up with these things, but we'll see. We will see how
That might be
things
interesting. Look, that might be interesting. That goes. That would be
yeah, I
wild
know,
right
right?
there.
Have
That would
about
be.
two, three of them on there, and have kind of go get it. That'd be
We are
rather,
so unconventional right now today.
rather interesting. I know, right? Well, guys, check this out. 72 of all Black children are raised in a single-parent household. In the United States today, nearly 24 million children live in a single parents. We live with single parents, which totals covers 1 out of every 3 kids across America. A number of long-term demographic trends have fueled this increase. Many married later, declined marriage rates, increased divorce rates, and uptick in babies born to single families. Within a single parent family, most children, either only about 14.5 million, live with their mothers only in the household, and 3.5 million are about live with their fathers only in the household. This is according to the 2021 estimated stats. Some studies show that the absence of a father increased the crime rate committed by children in the household. In fact, boys who are fatherless from birth are 3 times likely to go to jail as peers from intact families. This is according to Robert Rector of the Heritage Foundation. Fathers that don't leave until their children are 10 to 14 years old are 2 times likely to go to jail than their peers with intact families. Gee, I'm gonna start with you with this one, man. What when looking at these stats, what are some of the things that stand out to you?
So when I first started looking at these stats, I started thinking about some of the things I saw over through social media. And a lot of times I see these stats being used to kind of beat women over the head, to kind of say that they need to accept more stuff from a man and let the man still stay in the house. And then also see a lot of these stats being used to kind of say that men are not taking care of their kids, and we need to have men to do a better job to take care of their kids. I think for me, it's more about the environment. I don't necessarily think it has to be the father, the biological father or biological mother. I think it just needs to be a positive male and a positive female in the house that is dedicated to the child and willing to pour into the child. So the numbers, I really don't like the way that the numbers are displayed, because it doesn't really give enough information to be actionable. I think it's just more of enough information to be a scare tactic, like I said, to be used to beat over women's head or to beat over men's heads.
Good stuff. And RJ, I'm gonna come with you with this one. This article also suggests that both parents is the best option for children. However, do you still think that holds true if the parent relationship is a toxic or creates a bad environment?
Man, you know, I do this in home, and I did this intensive in home probably in the last maybe 7 to 10 years. And a lot of what takes place within inside of the family dynamic that I see is conflict between the male and female role models in the household. And that conflict exists in a space where there's unresolved issues, trauma, or past things that have happened that have impacted them, which creates a level of toxicity. Do I believe that parents should stay together for the kids? For the most part, no. But the one thing I do see is that when I find that when you have single moms, at times, especially with these boys, they're not balanced. They're very emotional. I myself was raised by a single mom, and I was very emotional. And it took me in the early part of my 20s and literally almost killing a man with my hands to really realize that I need to rewire my thinking. And what does that mean? That means that I don't necessarily need to be as reactionary when things take place or things happen. What fathers do is provide balance. Mothers nurture. There has to be aspect to that thing in within inside that family dynamic. And it can come from other people. It can come from the special uncle. It can come from Ray Ray. It can come from whoever. But those children need that balance at times. Just my humble opinion. Mine came from my grandfather, and I distinctly feel as though raising a single child is a heck of a feat. I think women have done a great job of doing it, but I don't want to normalize.
Okay.
I want to normalize male-female relationships and functionality within those and dynamic.
Good. So, Toy, I'm coming with you with this one. With these numbers being so high, do you think that we as a society have given up on the family structure?
No, I don't think so. I think, first of all, single mothers do not want to be single mothers. It's not something that you set out to do unless, you're a young mother and you just happen to have a baby at a young age. But for the most part, if you were married at a time that you got married, you thought that marriage was forever. You don't go into marriage thinking about divorce. Our structure has been messed up for a while. That family structure has been messed up for a while, but that goes with society as well and the world that we live in as a community. But I think that for me, Black love still exists. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. And it's what we strive to have. But I don't think that the structure it's becoming non-existent. I hope it's not. I want to say I hope it's not. It's not something I'm with Ron. It's something you don't want to normalize.
Q, as a young man, right? Definitely. Q, as a young man, do you feel that youth actions are related to the family dynamic?
Yes, it is. You can almost that 90% of the time you can tell who had a 2-parent household, who had a 1-parent household. And then if you break that down, you can tell who had a single father or who had a single mother. And I say that as someone who I've been in classrooms with kids. I'm on a college campus now. I've been in the adult world. A lot of times you can tell kind of how that. Now there are times you're wrong. There are outliers, but yeah, by their actions, sometimes you can tell who was raised by who, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
Right.
But kind of like Toy said, I'm gonna expand on Toy said. Nobody goes into a situation, family situation, trying to be a single parent. Nobody at all. You usually go in wanting, when you want a child, you usually want it to be with somebody you want to. The problem is people like, and I'm in quotes, instant gratification, and the gratification from that ends up 9 months later.
Okay. What's your thoughts on that, Playmate?
You know, one of the things that sticks out to me is stereotypes, and I think that a lot of times people get a bad rap based off of stereotypes. I am a product of a single parent home, and I guess when I'm a little bit sensitive to that because my mom was a very strong woman, is a very strong woman. She done all that she could do, and I respect that. And I think she did everything to make sure that I stayed on the right path. When I was in New Jersey, after my mother and father divorced, I was on the wrong path. And we moved to South Carolina where my mom surrounded me by my uncles, my older cousins, the people in the church. And I think that corrected my path. So I think that there are a lot of single parent moms that do get it correct. And I think that sometimes these stereotypes just makes it seem a little, it makes it seem a little odd to me. That's all.
I'm gonna hit y'all with something. Counselors' use of self. Identifying aspects of who you are and what you are and not being emotional about it. Like for me, it's cool you said that because I think
All of
three
us,
of us on here
3 of us,
are
at
raised
one
by
What's
single
time.
that?
moms. Right.
Well, four of
4 of
us, 'cause
us.
my father was when I was about 15.
So identifying that aspect of things, like for me, what I effectively realized is that it did require balance. I did have uncles. I did have a great grandfather. But there are certain things that are intrinsically learned. Like, say, I'm gonna give an example. Puff Daddy is not going to need a father. Even though his father was a hustler, he died at an early age. Puff is not going to need a father to learn certain aspects of things because he's a hustler. And he's going to get out here and hustle. He's going to create the life he needs. But some of us do need a little bit of guidance and balance. The issue that we're having, and I don't think we understand this aspect of it, there's there's 26 chromosomes for each parent. So when you identify those, no, it's not 26, it's 23. I'm sorry, I'm messing up. It's 23. When you identify those chromosomes being what they are, forgive me, yeah, you the biology major, you're supposed to correct me. When you think about all 46 being balanced on one person's head, they're going to be great mothers that did it. Isaiah Thomas' mother raised all those kids by herself principally. However, that's not ideal. And what we have to normalize is the family. And what has been attacked since 1964 with legislation and governmental programs is the family. Now, if you would have asked me about my friends who were raised by single moms, a lot of them sold drugs. A lot of them out there got it how they live. A lot of them killed people. A lot of them were killed. And so when I see that, that's a reflection of being placed in environments where the economics wasn't good. And had those fathers been present, those economics might not been as bad. So when you really reflect upon aspects of that your situation worked out fine. Mine, I'm still here, so it worked out fine. But some of the people got lost in the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. So according to and that kind of keep pushing, but that's definitely some valid points on both ends of the spectrum. But according to recent stats, there are 2.3 million single fathers living with their children as of 2020, representing 17% of all single parent households. Further research reveals that 4 out of 10, 40.9%, are separated. Fathers are separated, divorced, or widowed, and around 36% live below the poverty line. 50% have a residential father or a non-residential biological mother. Research shows that the single fathers are than single fathers are more likely than married fathers to participate in traditional motherly activities such as shopping with the children, taking the children, and talking to children problems. Just over 56% of single fathers are white. 45% of single fathers and 2/3 or 66% are married fathers. Single fathers are much likely to have single fathers are less likely to be black, 15%, or as compared to single mothers at 28%, but more likely to be black than fathers in married two parent houses, according to the study. According to the studies, on the CDC Center for Disease Control showed that black fathers are 70% were the most involved and likely to have bathe, dress, diaper, or help their children use everyday living skills. That's compared to 60% white and 45% Hispanic.
Hmm.
Crazy stats. G, I'm gonna come with you. Come with you with this one. Why do you believe that there is an increase in single fathers today?
One of the things that was interesting, I have two friends earlier this year, different occasions, who are single black men, and they were like, they were look they were ready to be fathers. They didn't want to be husbands. They weren't necessarily looking necessarily to be husbands, but they wanted to have a legacy to leave behind after they transition, and they wanted to be able to pour into somebody that looked like them, which I thought was very interesting because I didn't realize that you had a group or a segment of men that thought like that they just wanted to had a strong desire just to be fathers, not husbands, but just fathers. But and in doing a little bit of research and similar to what you just articulated, the people are not marrying at the same rates as they were. So even though they may be living in the house or they may be heavily involved, they've never been married. And so you have that group of population of men that are still taking care of their kids, still willing to do what they need to do, but just don't have the married label on them. And then you have a lot of men who after divorce, they're like, I'm in a better position. I'm making more financially. Let me take over the kids. Let me handle this responsibility that we both share. And in some cases, I think the men are more equipped. So you kind of see that. I think traditionally we always said that the mom was the better suited person for the children. But and now we see that some cases that's true, but not all cases. So I think those are some of the things that lead up to that. Like I said, just to kind of summarize, people are not married, but they're still having kids. When they're divorced, you see more fathers seeking custody. And then the last thing is because of education and financial situations, sometimes the men want the responsibility.
Okay. Hey, Arjun, we always hear that women can't raise a man. Do you believe that a man can be raised by? Can you believe that a man can raise a woman?
I'm just gonna tell you like this, man. I'm so thankful that my wife is here to deal with aspects of what takes place with my daughter. Do I think I can have the conversations? Yeah. I want to have them. Hell to the no, no, no. However, I've never had a problem with talking with, because I know all the little stuff, man. I dated in high school. My girlfriend in high school told me about women in their calendar and how to keep up with your period and all that other stuff. So there was things that I learned and understood as to how to be in tune. However, I'm glad I didn't have to do that heavy lifting. Could I, if I had to? Yeah. Would I like to? No. So yeah, you can go ahead, G.
Go ahead, Playmaker.
I just want to throw one little thing in there. So I have a friend who has custody of his little girls over the summer. And one of the things that he struggled with was washing them properly. He didn't realize that he was not doing the proper job of bathing his little girls until his cousin came and was like, hey, you need to do a little bit better in certain areas. So, I mean, I think that was just one of the things that stood out to me
That's
when Ron
funny.
was making it sound.
That's funny
Go ahead,
because
Tori.
my ex-husband actually taught me how to wash the girls properly because of course he had two daughters before we were married, and my sister has four boys, and everybody in our family were boys. I'm the only one who has girls. And so when they were born, he literally, first of all, the swaddling was off the chain, but he literally showed me how to get up in there real good and make sure I was cleaning it real good. And with the single dad, I know so many single dads that are raising girls, beautiful, and have raised girls that are now adults, beautiful girls. They struggled a little bit, but they had people to help. But on their own, they did, I get phone calls late at night. What size? It's different sizes. I'm like, I ain't got that problem. Look, I got that problem now raising girls. Why is there so many different sizes? So, but I get it, Ron. But yes, there are men out here raising women well by themselves.
What's about
And
that,
that
Q?
and that
Hold on.
that cleaning is a totally different. That's a high level deal.
It is.
Well, yeah.
For the first time my
That's not
daughter
to
had
say
a
I don't know
blowout.
how to clean
doing that,
myself,
buddy.
but on a baby, it's different.
Yeah, you gotta know what you're doing there, but you
She
know
had
what
a
you're doing.
blowout,
It could be a
and
bad
then
day.
I
It could be a
mean,
bad day.
I
But
watched my daughter until she was probably about 6, maybe about 5 or 6.
hey, you gotta have a firm but gentle hand with that stuff. But go ahead, Quit. You get in there.
I'm gonna say that's because majority of the time, a single father doesn't mind asking for help.
True. That is true.
Especially if it's with their daughter, because single father, if it's single father with a son, he's gonna say, "Hey," he's gonna tell him tough it out. Which we need to worry about fixing that. That's a different conversation. But when it comes to their daughters, when it comes to their daughters, they want to know exactly what they're doing, and when they don't know what they're doing, they're gonna go Google, they're gonna go online. If that doesn't work, they're gonna ask somebody for help. A lot of single mothers,
we do not. We do not.
Father's gonna always baby the girls. You're gonna always baby the girls. So
Some
y'all come with you, huh?
I
What's that,
don't.
Glenn?
Look, I don't.
Well, I
Me
mean,
and, me and my
I try to baby mine, but she a little different breed. She
me
comes
and
from a
my
different
daughter
cloth.
clash. Like my wife swear we alike. I'm like, nah, we ain't alike.
I
You
get
look
that all
just
the time
alike,
too, sir.
y'all.
I get that all the time too, sir. But we, hey, Tom, come with you. The studies indicate that most times single fathers is living with a non-biological mother. Does this type of blended family helpful for the child?
Yep. Yes. Since I come from a blended family, I'm gonna say yes.
I know that's why.
And a lot of friends did not know we were a blended family. So my mom was single until my sister was 14 and I was 8. And then she met my father. Then he's my father. He raised us. But my brother was his son, and my brother's biological mother passed away. And so at 11, so they met at the right time. But no one knew we were a blended family. That's how well it worked for us. That's probably why it was so easy for me to marry a man that already had kids. And if I didn't have that male in my life, I wouldn't know how to be loved properly by a man. If my brother didn't have my mother, there's things that he wouldn't have got that nurturing. So we had a hard dad, but he was loving. And we had a strong, loving mother too. So, and it's a blended family, and it just worked for them. And to death they did part. So I think blended families are a plus. I love blended families. That's just my thing.
Okay. U.S. studies have found that children whose parents have multiple partners and who live with have siblings have more frequent behavior problems in middle childhood compared to children with a structure that don't change and where all children parents are both or both relationships are there. I mentioned this, G. Do you agree with the fact that bringing multiple partners around your children is a problem, and why?
So I think the answer is yes, and it's been documented. You can doing that can lead to the kids having trust issues, attachment issues, resentment issues, and trauma or emotional pain. And it's because kids sometimes get attached, and even though they think that they're having a friend and building a relationship, and the next thing you know, that person is gone because the parent and the a significant other didn't work out, and now they're dealing with losing that friend. Similar example is I remember I had a little cousin that I was very close to, and I came home from college one day, and I had a new woman that I brought home from college. And so he was running from the back because he heard I was in town. He was running from the back to come and see me and greet me. And he saw the other woman, and he was like, where is, and I'm just going to say a different name. He was like, where is Sally? So my new friend was like, oh, what's going on here? And everybody had to kind of, take him in the back and explain to him that the old lady, old girlfriend is no longer coming back here. And, he had to kind of process that right then and there at Thanksgiving. And that was just a minor piece. It wasn't like he was living with me or anything like that. It was just a younger cousin that I was pouring into so much that he had got used to this lady that came around every time I came around, that he was very disappointed when she left. So I do think that I don't think that, I'm not going to say that people should not date. I'm just saying that, it takes some time, and make sure that person is going to be around before you introduce them to the kids.
Ron, and on the same note, and I'm not asking Chris, how would that affect the mental? How would that affect a child mentally seeing that traffic coming in out the house and your mental experience?
Hey man,
How does that?
in my neighborhood, you better have some thick skin, champ, because we gonna Joan on you. Hey man, I gave it and I got it. But we had a dude now. He's a preacher. Milton Holt, shout out to Milton. Milton used to, hey man, he would brand our mother's girlfriends. So he branded one of my partners' uh, friends as the businessman, and another dude was somebody else, and another dude was something else. I'm gonna tell you, it does impact you to a certain degree, because you're gonna get those jokes, you're gonna get those little shots and stuff like that, because of the nature of how things are in the neighborhood. You hope that your parents choose to date and have stable relationships, but that's just not all the way. That's not always the way it is. And in all true honesty, nobody was above the fray. Even my homeboy, his mother and father were essentially married. Yeah, we should joan on him too. And crack jokes. But that's the way, it's inappropriate union. That's the way we dealt with that lack of consistency in that situation. And it might seem a little bit aberrant to other people, but if you was around us, you would have cracked jokes and you would have laughed.
I think sometimes
Did
when
I
you do
like
that,
it?
it kind of hides the pain or really going on behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it does. I think it covers the.
Well, it was more needling than anything else, because everybody wants to try to have a one up on you. and they coming at you
Right.
100%. And so when I say you laugh, but I never, like, for me, that's why I don't have thick skin. That's why words don't bother me. I don't get emotional about words. What I get emotional about is when you touch me, and then I'm gonna crush you then. But
Okay.
if you talking, I don't care. You can talk all you want, as long as you don't touch me, as long as you don't,
I don't
as
think
long as you
that
don't threaten my person.
I don't think you should bring multiple people around your kids if you're dating. That's not a thing.
If you can avoid, I think you should. Quinn, I'm asking you this: as a single young man yourself, would you date a woman with children?
Um,
We all telling him no.
No, honestly, give your answer. You do. Would you
I'm not gonna say. I'm
Sometimes.
not say no, but I'll say maybe. I'll say maybe. There's a possibility. I'm not gonna flat out say no because if I meet someone and we vibe and she just happens to have a child, well, I'm gonna ignore that we have a connection because you just so happen to have a child. I can't do that.
Don't
So
block your blessings.
that's I can't say no. I mean, but is it a factor if I did or not? Maybe, but if we vibe and you having a child, okay. The father has stepped up, I guess.
Wait about that playmaker?
I think a lot of that has to do with from just personal experiences, age. I mean, once you get to a certain age bracket, a large percentage of the people you're dealing with are either
Them late 30s. Them late 30s.
You're late 30s.
You late 30s.
Be by yourself or you don't, huh? Be who you dating? By myself. By myself.
Yeah,
Now, I think most people are gonna have kids by 30 though. So you identify that's that functional age.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Depending on your age, I mean, Q is a little bit underneath that age, so he may not have that to deal with that population where he can be a little bit more selective. But I think once you get into that thick of that scale, you're going to be hard pressed to find some that they may have adult children, they may be coming out of it, but it's going to be hard to
Not in
find.
their late 30s though. They ain't got no adult.
Well, sometimes they do now. Hey, I know some
Hey,
grandmothers at 30. That's
Let me
grandmothers
tell
at
you,
30
I'm
now.
jealous of y'all with adult children. I'm jealous.
Your mama's
hey
at
man,
30.
word
Mama's
is
at
bond.
30.
Like, hey man, Cinnamon got a rapper friends. They got grandkids.
Yeah, 25.
I literally I could be a grandmother. I have a 28-year-old and a 23-year-old, but thank God for good girls.
Hey, I could be a grandfather, but thank you, Lord, for good children. Man, boy,
The
man, and
average
female. Huh?
the average for first mothers of the first birth is 24. So the average of people having their first child is where I'm at right now.
That's true. But then now you see, like me, Ron, and G, we have late in life babies. We have geriatric pregnancies.
Get them out the way,
And there's a
buddy.
lot of us. There are a lot of us. So a lot of women are waiting, especially college educated women. They're waiting. They're doing all their traveling first, and then they're deciding to have babies into their 30s or late 30s, some 40s and 50s. I saw a post the other day of my friend and her roommate is pregnant, and she 50. Don't do that.
That's rough.
It's a couple of people I've seen like that. Like,
But it's more, and a lot of people are getting
that's
married later
stress.
in life too. A lot of
Yeah,
people.
yeah. My patience level is not there. My patience level is not there. That's interesting. But hey, I got a round tip for everybody, and we can go around and take a hold of this question. Be the one that last questions of the night. And we're gonna start with you, T, and then work our way around. With today's climate of being self-absorbed and having children with no intentions of staying together, Are we are we destroying the family structure and setting up our children for failure in the future?
That's a hard question. And because I don't think that we're destroying the family structure. Because you see, like, just because the statistics say what it, like G said, a lot of people live together and they're not married. There's a lot of common law couples out here. I know at least 4. They've been together since college. They just never got married, and that works for certain people. And at this point, I agree. Like, can I just shack up with you, and we don't have to do all the paperwork and stuff. We just live.
Well, you're not having no more children, though, are you?
Huh? I can't have
no
children. No, this
right.
box is fixed.
It's Hercules if it come out right, huh?
Not Hercules. Where's that playmaker? Do you think with the we saw that playmaker? You think with the intent with the they silly? You think with some of the mental aspect, they're not really trying to create the family structure, like you said. You got black men that would want to be fathers, but not necessarily want to be in a relationship. Do you think that's setting up the family structure that you fulfill you?
I agree with Toya. I think the family structure is changing a little bit from the time where our great grandparents. I think I think you can still be a successful parents to your children. Without necessarily being married. I think that that's the reason why I wanted to peel back a little bit on those statistics, because I wanted to know if they talked about what environment those kids were in, and did they have the support system of uncles, brothers, big brothers, and all of that kind of thing. Because I do think that that is important. I think one of the challenges is that no one is going to want to come in off the street and take care of a stranger, but like the biological father would or biological mom would. But I think that you do have, if you can put the right situation together, I think it can be successful.
What about you, Q? What's your thoughts?
Ask that question again. It's been a while since you got me.
So the question pretty much saying, with in today's climate, where people not necessarily want to be in the traditional relationship and still want to have children, does that mess up the children's dynamic? Does that mess up the dynamic of the child?
It can. There's a possibility it can, but there's also a possibility that it doesn't mess it up at all. Like they said, Playmaker said earlier, some people grow up in a single parent household and they're completely okay. Some people grow up in a 2-parent household and end up a mess.
That's true.
That is true. That is so true.
It's true now. That's facts. That's fact. We throw that, RJ. I'm gonna do a quick one at you because we ain't got too much time. But a quick one. What happens when you run through a situation where you got multiple children by multiple fathers, but one of the fathers are you? Do you still feel responsible for the other children in the household?
Hey man, look here.
And that's a whole other conversation. We ain't got really time to dive into it. But that's a whole other conversation.
That's a whole nother conversation, sir.
Yeah, I didn't see that play out. But I'm gonna tell you right now, man, in the words of an old rap song, no, I'm not gonna be able to do it. Not me, champ. I can't do it. And I'm so thankful that my significant other and I, all our children are directly correlated with her and I. I wouldn't even really like my that's the one thing I give my father credit for. He said, man, I didn't want to have children all over the place. I said, man, I know I got a brother and sister somewhere. Go ahead, man, tell the truth. He's like, nah, man, I ain't want to have no kids all over the goddamn place. I said, okay. And I took it on the chin. So I just listened to him. But for me, no, I can't do that. No disrespect to the ladies out here, but I can.
Good stuff. Hey guys, great conversation, guys. I guess the main point we trying to raise awareness and let you know, single parents, you got support out there. You can do it. Now I know it's overwhelming, but we can definitely make it work. You definitely make it work in a 2-family, 1 family. Just love your kids and take care of your kids. That's just the bottom line. Last word. Start with you, Toya. Last word for the night.
My last word is a quote. To be Black and relatively conscious in America is to be in a constant rage. James Baldwin. I am in a constant rage right now. Y'all need to wake up. Please wake up.
Get Playmaker. Last word.
I'll stick with the quote theme. If you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life.
Got you. Q.
Since we're doing quotes, life is a marathon, not a race.
Y'all off the chain tonight.
Okay. I'm trying to wind this thing down. We got minutes left. Run, last word, sir.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know which one you're gonna get.
Well, since everybody's giving quotes, I guess I do a quote. It's hard to be an eagle when you're surrounded by a bunch of turkeys.
That's the wackest quote of the night.
It's hard to be an eagle, guys, when you're surrounded by a bunch of turkeys. Hey, guys, again, thank you for listening to us. Thank you for tuning in to WDJY99.1 FM. Thank you for going to our YouTube page and get the old clips and old shows. We also got the Facebook private page is still on. Join the page. Drop some literature. It's a real woke environment. And also
I wanted to say, see, my wife came in, she interrupted me. I wanted to say this. Your emotions don't make you right. They're just your emotions. Too many times within our communities, our emotions are guiding our actions. And those actions lead to detrimental things within inside of our communities and our families. Marriage is not an easy task, nor is it something easy to undertake. But I can't, every time I don't feel good about it, walk away from it. And I'm big for just like, man, listen, man, I bounce on you. But so far, I've been able to maintain and stay. Let's stick and stay, people, best we can.
Hey, parenting the same way. Parenting is a hard task, guys. Ain't nothing easy about parenting, but it's the most wonderful joys in the world. So if you ever get opportunity, take care of you. Enjoy those precious moments. Enjoy those precious times. Hey, guys, again, great show. The Facebook page will be coming out soon. We got other stuff coming out soon. Just stay tuned. Continue to support us. And like always, guys, may your next move be the game changer. Peace.